Good afternoon, everybody. It is Thursday, September 3rd. The only reason I know that is because tomorrow is September 4th, which is Brooklyn's birthday. So I can remember that tomorrow is Brooklyn's birthday and it's Friday. So today must be the third Thursday. So there you go. I'm going to show you a couple of different projects I'm working on. Just to give you a little idea of what's happening here in the workspace. Hopefully you can hear me because I'm really far away, so I'm going to talk a little louder. This unique piece we just picked up today. Some people say it's a coffee table, but really it's a cobbler's table. You can see from the inset here. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sanding it, and then I'm going to be using B.O.S. so that it won't bleed through, because this dark wood will definitely bleed through with the tannins and such, because it's real wood. It's not really sealed. It's hard to move it around because it's not on wheels. So I will be sanding, cleaning, I will be cleaning, sanding, and then applying a first layer of B.O.S. on it, and then I'm going to let it dry, and then painting it will come later. And I took the knobs off this one. I know sometimes you get upset when I don't take the knobs off, but I definitely took the knobs off. Then on this project here, this was just a basic, although it's very heavy, real wood table. Wow, this thing really is heavy. It like weighs 20 pounds. And I added Dixie Belle Mud. It's called Mud. If you guys are familiar with joint compound or filler, that's kind of similar, but this is Dixie Belle's version. Now I had a big chunk here, I don't know if you can see that, where the veneer had come off here and part of the wood, a little bit over here too. And so last night I took the mud with my little spatula, yes, I still have dried paint on it, and also my fingers, and I applied it with my finger here, and then it came across with the spatula to smooth it out a little bit. And then I'm going to sand it with one of these rad pads. The rad pads come in different colors, but it's because they're different. Like this is fine, this is super fine, and this is very fine. So the different grits of paper. You can also use a sanding block, which I use a lot too, but I'm gonna sand this down. It almost feels like, what does it feel like? The product sort of feels like, I don't know, cottage cheese kind of? No, peanut butter. There you go. So I'm gonna come closer. I know it's hard to hear me. Dixie Belle Mud. It comes in white and brown. Honestly, I use both. So I just used a little bit. You have to refrigerate this afterwards. And I just dipped my finger in, a little bit of moisture, and I am basically filling in all the holes. Oh, this thing's heavy. So you can see on the edge. And then I'm going to sand that down. Then I'm going to clean the entire piece. And then I'm going to apply Stick Slick on this one. Slick Stick, because it's got a shiny top and I want the paint to stick. So that will be that project. So here's my little tools for all of that. I'll be using this brush to paint with, the B.O.S. and the Slick Stick. And then, if you guys watched the live the other day, this is that chair that was beside the road, vintage chair. It was all fallen in, it was all damaged and was ready going to the dumpster, and I wanted it for a display, then decided a different display. So Jason glued this with Gorilla Glue. Look back through the lives and you'll see this. And it's been glued for days, and I sat on this, even though it's like a child size, I sat on this chair yesterday for a Zoom class. I'm taking classes online, and I sat in this chair just because the Zoom started quicker than I remembered, and I had to quickly log on or I'd be kicked off. And so I grabbed this chair, and yes, it held me. And it held me for 3 hours, moving around, pushing back to go grab things. So this chair is now going to be resurrected, or it has been. I am going to sand this a little bit to get any of the extra little peaks off of it from the old veneer. Sorry, this is wood, not the old veneer, but the old, they put a clear coat on it. Some of it's coming off, so I'm gonna definitely sand it. I'll use one of these pads. And then I'm going to paint it, not sure what color yet. And then I'm either gonna add a furniture transfer here, a stencil, and I'm gonna sand it back, and I want it just to be that cute little shabby chic cottagecore style chair that you might sit outside on your front porch that's covered, and you can put a plant on it, or you can actually sit on it. You might put a pumpkin on it for Halloween, and for the other holidays coming up, you might put, you know, Thanksgiving themed, or hi Aunt Sam, or a Christmas theme. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to be one of those little cute little chairs that's a little add-on that can be used for so many different things. So this really, and this is the chair, if you see the live, I was just going to use screws to screw in the sides to get it back. And Jason was like, no, you use glue and you use clamps and you do it right. Because I just was going to use it as like kind of a plant stand that I didn't care if it got rained on and fell apart again. But he fixed it. Hi, Bike Mike. So he fixed it, and it, like I said, it held me for 3 hours during my Zoom class. So it's sturdy. It's very sturdy now, and it's been saved from the trash. Now, I don't know if I can do this because of the way I set up today. I'm sitting on the floor. This is my impromptu desk. Like I said, I had a Zoom class that I kind of forgot about, and my phone went off and said, you have 5 minutes before your class. And I'm like, I have to plug in, I have to find a desk. I wasn't prepared because I was at home. So this is an end table. I'm trying to turn it around. I don't know if you see it. This is an end table. I'm about to pull the whole camera down, so if it falls, it happens. This was a treasure found that someone didn't want anymore because it was just basic brown, and I have some pictures of this, I think, on my Instagram, or the store's Instagram, the Other Side Vintage Instagram, theothersidevintage.com. You'll find all our links to eBay, Etsy, Instagram, Twitter, so on and so forth. So, and so I went ahead, and because it was that shiny fake wood veneer, I used slick stick on this already in white. It's been drying for days, not because it needed to dry for days, but because I've been so busy doing other things with so much going on right now. So this, and I took the handles off, but this has really neat little raised and insets, so it's going to be really wonderful to paint this, distress it, and to bring it back to life, because it was on its way out the door. It was 86. Someone didn't want it. You know why? The drawers fall out. I can't show you because I'm going to pull the whole thing down. So when you open up the drawers, I can't show you, they actually fall out. Both of them. And that's a simple fix, you guys. I found out there's this little thing you can get. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go get it. I know this sounds crazy, but excuse me as I get up. You're not supposed to do this while you're going live, but here's what I'm going to show you. So, there's these little, and you guys probably, some of you already know this, and you're like, why is she even saying this? But some of us didn't know there's so many options. So we went and got, okay, this one I found off an old piece. It didn't work, so I salvaged it. There's these, so these little drawer things, they go onto the drawers. You have to take the broken one off and reapply, but they come in different sizes. So drawer, and this is for a drawer that has a thing in the middle. The rail is in the middle, not on the sides. So this white one's one size, this red one's one size, this brown one's a different size. And of course, you know, I had all those and none of those worked. So I had to go to the store and get a box of these, which ended up being exactly what I needed. So these will be, the old ones will be taken off. These will be put on each drawer, and it'll stop it from falling out. So then this whole dresser, it's like a little Chester drawer, even though I say end table, is my desk right now, but it's also going to be salvaged back into a little Chester drawers that someone can use, all because someone didn't have that little part, and they didn't want to take the time to go get it and take screws off, a little bit of glue, put screws back in, paint it, and make it beautiful again. So there's not too much work. It's all little baby steps. Like, it may seem overwhelming at first, but it's like, okay, I need the part, got that. I needed to put slick stick on it because it was that slick, fake wood, faux wood stuff, and so I needed to do that so we have some grabbing. Here you go. Now I can take it out. So that piece will go under here to stop the drawer from just literally falling out and all your stuff falls out. So, and this drawer has, can you see now? Oh yeah, much better. It has this molding, very ornate, and it has this is inset. There's actually little grooves here, and then raised parts. This has a lot of sass, a lot of really neat features on the front, just to be discarded. No way. And it's real wood on the inside. It just has that veneer on the outside. So it'll be saved. It's going to hold a lot of clothing. It can hold, I mean, a nightstand. It can hold everything. So I'm using it, like I said, as my faux desk because, of course, I just sold all the desks I had. I had to literally go, oh my gosh, I have a 10-minute warning. I totally forgot. Opened up my computer, set it on here, and then I was like, well, I can't sit down here. So I grabbed this chair that was being glued and dried and sat on it, and this became my desk for several hours, and it worked out. All right, you guys, so there you go. We sell these rad pads at the store, the Other Side Vintage, Tallahassee, Florida. We also can ship them to you. They come in a set of all the different sizes, and I've used these for a couple months now, over and over again. You can also wet them and they become wet sand. You can also buy a sponge, a sanding sponge at your local hardware store and use that for things. This is just a cheap little spatula. It's plastic. I use it to paint with, as you can see. There's some orange and yellow because I did a very unique technique where I painted one color, then I took the orange or the yellow first, I can't remember, and just did that and used this as a paintbrush, let that dry, and came back with the other color, yellow or orange, I can't remember which one I did first, and went back over it again and made a really cute bohemian. And I just unfortunately forgot to take the paint off and it dried. I could scrape it off, but there was no need. It's totally on there. And so when I went to use my Dixie Belle Mud, I just grabbed this to get around this edge that I'm filling. And like I said, I'm gonna sand it. And then, so today is cleaning, sanding, and then slick stick and boss on the different pieces depending on which one needs what. And then paperwork, answering Instagram and eBay and Etsy, shipping orders, dealing with customers at the store who have questions. And then tonight, when everything's a little bit more dry, I will have time to decide what colors. If you have a color choice for any of these, let me know. And then I'll start painting. So it's all the behind the scenes work first, and then we get to paint, which to me, you know, all of this is actually fun and therapeutic in the long run, but of course the paintings where you get to finally see what you've done. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just grab this rad pad. I think this is the Fine. Yep. It really is kind of like peanut butter. It's the consistency is like peanut butter. I put it on my finger, put a little bit of water on my finger, and just use my finger to get into all these areas that were needing a little help. And I'm just sanding. It's like it dried. It's kind of like dried peanut butter. And it's really smooth, easy to do. There, it's already done. And when I paint this, you're not going to be able to see that. That's going to disappear with the paint. You can also stain this. If you wanted to use this on a wood piece, the Dixie Belle Mud, it takes stain and you won't be able to see it either. So instantly fix this. And I could have just let this go. I thought about just saying, you know, the heck with this table. But this is a really good heavy duty table. Price on radio is $20. Thank you, Brooklyn. She's answering a question a customer had. An item that we had on our Facebook we posted this morning, and I forgot to put the prices because I have to take the pictures, load the pictures up on my phone. Technology, I know you guys know how to do all this, but you know. So I loaded up like 58 photos, and before I can log out and then go individually type the sizes and the prices, people are like, how much is this? Is this available? How much is this? Which is a great problem to have, but I was still home. So some of the items I didn't have the prices on yet because I'd taken the photos but forgot to write down the information. So we opened today 2 to 6, so Brooklyn's now sending me the information. So if you ever ask me what size is that or what price is that, and I'm like, I'll get back to you, and you're like, you just posted it, how do you not know? It's because I took the picture yesterday, or they took the picture yesterday, and I forgot to write down the information, so I have to go ask them when we open it too. And of course, you're going to ask me around 9:30 or 10 when I'm posting, so I know that's horrible. I need to start writing it down. But just that one little bit of sanding on this piece, I'm already done. Like, I know people are like, oh, I hate to sand, but that, and like I said, when I paint over this, you'll never know that that little piece is like that. And then, of course, over here, there you go. That's all it needed. It's just a little bit of a filler. Let's see, didn't I? Oh yeah, this corner over here. I know it's hard to see, you guys. I was trying to set up real quick where you can see here on this corner, it needed some loving, and this corner. Again, that's called Dixie Belle Mud. It is easy cleanup. There's no smell whatsoever, and I'm able to do this in my house. I'm on my floor in my dining room, which is my home studio thanks to COVID, and I'll just vacuum that right up. I'm sitting on a rug that I paint on all the time because it's water-based products. They have low VOCs, and because they're thicker paints with Dixie Belle, it doesn't drip very often, and when it does, I usually can grab it real quick with the paper towel it's wet. The skirt is $18, size 10. Thank you, Brooklyn! When I get done with this live, I'll let the customers know on Facebook their answers. But anyways, so I'm able to do all this inside my house while the store's open and they're helping customers. So these projects are being done here at the home studio. Again, because before I had to take these things outside to paint them. I was using spray paints. I was using other chalk paints that had smells. So the low VOC. Kayleen, I'm seeing from way far away. Kayleen says, love the piece behind you. Kayleen, it's really cool. You know I'm going to drop it, right? Because I'm a klutz. Okay, hold on. I got another message from work. I don't know what they're saying. These are those little parts. It is, and the drawers are probably going to open up. It's like a cobbler's table. Oop, there goes the drawer. A cobbler's table. It has a cutout. So I think the cobbler would sit here, or a shoe shiner, sit here. This is where you'd face this way, and all your supplies would be here in these boxes. So I took the handles off because I'm about to B.O.S. it so it doesn't bleed through, and then we'll get it painted up. So it is a very unique piece. And I got that, I had to remember, I got that from Cameron, my nephew, and my brother Doug. They had this. I think they were going to do something with it, and they decided they have so many projects because a tree fell on their house, hit the roof, and hit the actual middle of the frame of the house and destroyed the whole house. Huge tree, but it knocked the whole house off its frame. So that was like 4 months ago. They just got a roof back on. So this project sitting in the garage, they called me and said, hey, we got to redo the whole house. So come get this. Come get this and work your magic. So thank you, Cameron and Doug. I love that the fact that these pieces I'm showing you right now, including the chair, all of these pieces were ready to be gone to file 86. They were ready to be chunked, given away, or they would have made it into, sorry Jason, I see you're sending a message, but I can't answer you right now. But anyways, every one of these pieces is recycled, upcycled, reloved, and put to a different purpose, and hopefully you guys will love them when they're done. So I just wanted to show you some of the things I'm working on, and yeah, so I will sit here and work on each one. One thing you may want to do when you're working on projects, if you're working on projects that are going into the same room and you're doing that color thing where everything has to match, which isn't my style, but you can choose one color that you think would go well for these 3 or 4 pieces. There's 4th ones in front of me. I know you're seeing the back of it. And that way you can have your paint out and you can just use the brush and keep on. When you're done putting the base coat, you turn and do this one, you turn and do this one, and then you come over here and finish this one. And that way you're using all the same color, you let it dry, you go for your 2nd coat, sometimes a 3rd coat depending, and then you let it dry and do your distressing or your waxing or your transfers, your stencils, or just leave them plain. It's up to you. That's when the fun part becomes. So it really is a fun industry. I think I'm going to end up painting these different colors possibly, but we will see. And again, don't forget, there's these little pieces you can order. Drawer brackets, drawer pull brackets, I think is what they're called. A lot of you probably already know that. They come in different sizes. They're not that expensive, but I would suggest, like I did, I bought 2 sizes that I saw at the hardware store, thinking those are it, just visually. I think that's fitting. And I didn't get the 3rd one because I didn't want to spend the money. I think it was like $5 more for the 3rd one. Didn't buy it. And of course, it was the 3rd one I needed, so I was already back home. I had to wait a night, order it. So when you get these things and you do some furniture repairs, or if you've got, you know, children that are going to college and you're going to be fixing their furniture to save money, or to recycle because you want sustainable furniture, these things are very inexpensive, and it's nice now that I have one of each size. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be a vintage size that doesn't fit, or someone custom made a drawer and made this out of wood. So, but it's nice now to have all these, and of course you know what's going to happen. I'm organized by putting them in a Ziploc so I can see them, and I know what's in here, even though a bunch are in this box. But they're here, and I'm going to put them in storage where they're supposed to go. But you know, the next time I need them, I won't remember where I put them. So maybe I can watch this video back and say, hey, Zan, you're going to put it in the storage bin on the 2nd shelf to the left. Seriously. It's like when I get specialty screws for older pieces of vintage furniture and I can't find them. So you never know. I was looking to see if I had, nope, I checked the handles off, so, and I put them in a Ziploc bag and I put them in the toolbox. I thought maybe I just left them up here, but it's good to use Ziploc bags to reuse for parts and pieces that you don't want to lose. And again, this is for the person who asked. I didn't know, I can't see back how far back someone asked what brush I'm going to use. This is the Dixie Belle Oval Small, O.S. for Oval Small. And I also can use the flat medium, FM. And so this brush, like I said, I think these brushes are anywhere from $25 to $40, which is ridiculous until you actually start using them. Because I was like, I'm a dollar store girl. I'm getting these at a dollar store, the chip brushes. Why would I do that? The difference is amazing. And I've used this hundreds of times over the years and my other brush. And so I'm down to, because I divided it out, I think I was down to like 10 cents a use. So it's cheaper than the dollar store, even if I got 4 to a bag, because you get those brushes that are 4, you know, the foam ones 4 for $1, which is a quarter each. It's cheaper in the long run and good for, I didn't have to throw all those brushes away, for recycling, for the environment, sustainability. And these do not leave brush strokes. So it's not me that's the artist, it's the brush. So it really, just like my brother who owns RPM Car Repair, by the way, in the patio shop here in Tallahassee, it's about the tools. It really is. So with this, I don't have to worry about brush strokes. So it's worth it to invest if you're going to be doing several projects. So thanks for watching. This is what I'll be doing today. In between, I'll have my computer up while I'm sitting down here so I can answer questions from customers. If you ever have a question about a project you're working on, just send me an email, theothersidevintage@gmail.com, or a Facebook message for The Other Side. Send us a DM on Instagram, all those places. And please, if you can, follow us on YouTube. Just search The Other Side Vintage on YouTube, and we'll upload some of these live. So my sister will pick up that item. Hi, that's Madison. I think that's her name. Is it Madison? Oh, I'm blanking. She's a photographer here in town. Very good photographer. I've got several good photographer friends, all specialty items. But she's getting something she saw on Instagram, and she's letting me know I am coming to pick up that item. I believe it's the State of Florida wicker basket art that we have on Instagram today. Go to our Instagram, The Other Side Vintage. Follow us there. Say hi to us all. We're family owned. My name is Zan. I know it's weird. It's like Jan, but with a Z, Zan. Some people say Xanadu. It is not short for Xanadu. It's Z-A-N. But if that's how you can remember my weird name, Xanadu, Zan. So thanks for watching. I have to stand up now to get over there to turn this off. Oh, and while I'm doing that, I don't do that gracefully, do I? Let's see if I can do this without knocking over the thing. If you guys were watching my other live the other night, close your eyes for the artwork, because it's 1960s psychedelic. This was a piece of wood I found, and I painted it with a custom blend of Colonel Mustard Yellow and Daisy Yellow by Dixie Belle. I let it dry, and then I applied live, you can go watch that video, this item on with Mod Podge and sealed it. And now I'm going to be adding some accents and then putting, I already have the holes drilled, some wire here, and then it will hang on the wall for whoever decides to buy my 60s psychedelic chick laying in a field of mushrooms. You never know. I do classic, I do traditional, I do psychedelic, I love color, I do boho, I do cottagecore, so it just depends on my mood. So these are great things to have when you're a moody person because you can choose whatever color and change it up. If you don't like the yellow, go back and paint it black, paint it red, paint it pink. So it's just paint, you can paint over it, you can't go wrong. That's why it works for me, because I do make mistakes. So, alrighty, let's get to work now. Thanks you guys for hanging out this morning. Hope to see you in the store soon, or send me a message and say hello.